Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Football Palestine Extra, a special edition because we are coming to you in the aftermath of Palestine's 2-0 victory in World Cup qualifying over Kuwait, and also using this opportunity to preview the final match, match day 10 against Oman at technically home in Amman on Tuesday. And yeah, I think we thought we might be here if things went our way to fight for a place in round 4 on the final match day. There's been a lot of ups and downs, but here we are. So let's get into it. I think first by reviewing what happened against Kuwait, looking forward to the Oman game, and then kind of hitting all the tidbits here and there. Before I do that, though, I want to thank everyone that's subscribed. I've seen kind of heightened interest. This tends to happen when the national team wins. And I want to encourage people to continue subscribing. Listen, that competition is still on to win a Palestine jersey of your choice, either the white home or the red away. That's thanks to Subside Sports, who it's giving us the jersey to raffle off. If you want to win that jersey, just subscribe. So if you're watching this video and somehow you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you're a paying subscriber, you actually have 100x chance of winning that. That's how we've designed this raffle. So if you really want a jersey, consider upgrading to a paid subscription. You also get a whole host of perks from discounts on Palestine apparel through Subside Sports. You get access to the full videos like this. You get to see them in their entirety. That includes the backlog of interviews we've done with national team players, both past and present. And new section on the website, the statistics. So we've been keeping track of all the statistics we possibly can here at Football Palestine. One thing I've recently started doing is actually keeping track of the player's place of birth, and that actually gives us a really cool insight as to which cities in Palestine produce the best footballers. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you are subscribed, thank you for your continued support of Football Palestine. Now, with that housekeeping out of the way, let's get into this Kuwait match. 2-0 was the final score. Tamer Salem opened up the scoring in the 32nd minute. Kuwait hung around. Palestine finished them off when they won a penalty that was eventually taken in the 88th minute. Wissam Obadi stepped up to convert that. And yeah, Palestine saw the result out from there. What can we say about this performance? I think this is the classic type of result you need to get in order to qualify for a World Cup. You have to go on the road. You have to play in difficult circumstances. And at the end of the day, the style is not so important. What's important is that you get the result. And I think Palestine did just that. So the most important thing here was to get a win. They got a win. They got a win by multiple goals. It's their first away win of round 3. They've won 2 games on the trot. That's something they're direct rivals for the 4th place, the 4th and final playoff spot, haven't done. Oman hasn't done that. Kuwait hasn't won a game, so obviously they haven't done that. And this is something that can give Palestine a whole world of confidence going into a must-win game against Oman. Before this game kicked off, probably the biggest result for Palestine was the fact that Oman lost to Jordan. And we covered all the prognostications and the qualification scenarios, and I'm really happy to tell you that we're not going to talk about that because it's very, very simple on Tuesday. Palestine need a win to go through. Oman just need a draw. There we go. That's the scenario. But yeah, Jordan's win against Oman, that put Palestine's fate back in its own hands. They controlled their own destiny, so to speak. And, they played like it. They played like they were given new life. That first half, Kuwait didn't do anything. Kuwait did not have a shot on goal, did not do anything remotely dangerous. I think they had like one sort of cross that, was crossed into the box and nobody was there. Other than that, I struggle to think of what else they did in the first half. They won some free kicks. They won maybe won a couple of corners, but other than that, they did absolutely nothing. The first half really was blinded by the fact that Taltat Jaber had to come off injured after 8 minutes. That meant Agustin Mansour came in for his debut. Um, yeah, and I think that kind of shows the mentality of this coach. I think Ihab Abu Jazar has gambled from the first day he took this job. He gave a start and a debut to Hamid Hamdan and Ahmed Taha in his first game. Realized that this team needed to be rejuvenated, needed new blood, and it worked. Both those players were great against Jordan in a 3-1 loss. Did their part in the 2-1 victory against Iraq, and this time around he looked at the midfielders he had, and he said, you know what, like I'm going to keep Hamza Hussein, who I know, Hamid Salafta, who's actually played a game at international level before. I'm going to keep him out of the squad altogether. I have Augustin Mansour. Hamid Hamdan was, of course, suspended for this one. And I don't think he realized he would need him so soon, but he put him in there, despite the fact that he already played twice with the national team. He speaks no English, no Arabic. Yasser Hamid was sort of seen, coming to the sideline, trying to help translate to get the message across to him. But Agustin Mansour had a fantastic game, especially considering this was his debut. Had a really, really good game. Quick thinker, good on set pieces. Palestine nearly scored in the 20th minute when Agustin Mansour just took a free kick super quickly, found Wissam Abu Ali in space, and Wissam Abu Ali was through on goal, and the goalkeeper, I think Khalid Rashidi is his name. He made that save to keep it at 0-0. 12 minutes later, Palestine opened the scoring, and it was the type of goal I think they knew they were going to get. They were going to win the ball in the attacking third, and that's what happened. They won the ball, and he put in a nice kind of lofted pass over the top. Went over Wissam Abu Ali, who sort of had drawn two defenders to him, opened up a ton of space in the box. Eventually finds its way to Ade Dabak. Ade Dabak has two defenders on him as well. Bamboozles them, crossed. There's just one defender in the box. Tamsam with a late run, bodies the defender, and then just sort of swings a leg on it. And great finish, 15th international goal to go with 15 assists in his 69th international appearance. And yeah, Palestine were good value for that lead. I thought they managed the rest of the half pretty well. The second half, they came out strong. They had some chances. Adi Dabagh had a couple of chances. There was a penalty shot on Wissam Abu Ali that didn't even go to VAR, which was strange. From the 46th to the 60th minute, Palestine were better and they created chances. They just couldn't convert. And then probably the one stanza of the game, although I thought Kuwait were better in the second half than they were in the first, but the one stanza of the game that I thought Kuwait won was maybe from the 65th to like the 77th minute. And that was sort of also when Palestine was making substitutions. So Gundar and Hbous came on. And then after that, they were forced into a substitution of Ahmed Taha. So Wesley Dabhan came on. And Asad Hamdawi came on for Ade Dabakh. And there was a point, one of the few entries into the box for Kuwait was when Palestine was reduced to 10 men. And I believe, I can't remember who the player was. It wasn't Mohammed Daham, but somebody just streaked into the box. And thankfully, the defense and Drar Hadi were able to deal with that danger. A couple minutes after that, Wajid had only just come on. And yeah, they're trying to kind of win the ball in the midfield, and they lose the ball. And one of the Kuwaiti players just has the quick thing to say, hey, let's try a lofted ball. And the ball's lofted in. Michel Termini tries to clear it, doesn't get to it, falls down. The one player you don't want getting to it, the Ham is on it. He's through on goal. It looks like he's going to score. Hamadi with a huge, huge save, and that really turned the game, I think. Kuwait scores there. You don't know how the rest of this game is going to turn out. Obviously, with the result in the Oman-Jordan game, Palestine rather could have drawn this game and gone through, but that's not what Palestine needed or wanted. They dodged the bullet there, continued to push forward. They won their penalty. About 8 minutes later, it needed a VAR review, which was ridiculous. By the time the VAR reviewed it, 5 minutes had passed. Wissam Al Bali steps up, converts it, done. Credit to Kuwait though, they did not quit. They had another chance, and it was a fantastic double save from a free kick. Rami Hamadi just fantastic initial save. The follow-up save is even more impressive. In between those two, the ball hits the crossbar, and eventually Rami Hamadi is able to collect. And yeah,